New York is the city with most skyscrapers in North America, and those buildings are among the most emblematic landmarks beside the Statue of Liberty or the Brooklyn Bridge. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tallest Buildings of Their Time. Today we're going to explore the history of the tallest buildings in New York. So what were the most iconic towers of the New York skyline? Let's find out now. Until the coming of modern skyscrapers, city skylines in Europe and by extension in the Americas were dominated mostly by churches. It was the case for New York with the construction of the Third Trinity Church. Elaborated in a Gothic revival style, the building reaches 85 meters and was the tallest building from 1846 to 1890. The building is still standing today. Then the Woolworth Building became the tallest building of New York in 1890. Elaborated in a Renaissance revival style with some Venetian Renaissance details, it reached 94 meters. The Woolworth Building consisted of a tower with 12 full stories, topped by a 6-story dome. It was the tallest building from 1890 to 1894. Unfortunately, the building was demolished in 1955. In 1894, the Manhattan Life Insurance Building was completed to the designs of the architects of Kimball and Thompson in a Beaux-Arts architectural style. It was the first skyscrapers to pass 100 meters in Manhattan with a height of 106 meters. Unfortunately, the building was demolished in 1964, but it holds the record for a brief period of time. In 1899, the Park Row Building became the tallest building of New York. With a height of 119 meters, it was designed by A. Robertson, a pioneer in steel skyscrapers design. The architectural details on the facade includes large columns and pilasters, as well as numerous ornamental overhanging balconies. It was then surpassed in 1908. The Singer Building was an office building and early skyscrapers in Manhattan. The building's architecture contained elements of the Beaux-Arts and French Second Empire styles. With a roof height of 187 meters, the Singer Tower was the tallest building in the world from 1908 to 1909. At the time of its destruction in 1969, the Singer Building was the tallest building ever to be demolished. The Singer Building was surpassed by the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company Tower in 1909 as New York's tallest but also as the world's tallest building. Inspired by St. Mark's Campanile, the tower features 4 clock faces, 4 bells, and lighted beacons at its top. And it was the tallest building in the world until 1913 with a height of 213 meters. In 1930, the Woolworth Building became the tallest building of New York and in the world, with a height of 241 meters. Cass Gilbert designed the Woolworth Building in a neo-Gothic style. However, the owner of the building wanted the Victoria Tower in London to be the model for this building. Gilbert disliked the religious imagery, but ultimately the architect included 15th and 16th Gothic ornaments, so the building resembles European Gothic cathedrals. At the end of the 20s, a fierce battle started to achieve the tallest building of New York. As a result, the next 3 skyscrapers became part of the most iconic landmarks of New York. So the record lasted 17 years, until the completion of the 40 Wall Street. It is a 283 meters neo-Gothic skyscrapers on Wall Street. Erected in 1930 as the headquarters of the Manhattan Company, the building was originally known as the Bank of Manhattan Trust Building. While 40 Wall Street facades has modernized French Gothic features, its massing is designed more similarly to the Art Deco style, and there is also elements of classical architecture as well as abstract shapes. Only after some months, the record was broken by the completion of the Chrysler Building. It was designed by William Van Allen in the Art Deco style, and is named for one of its original tenants, Walter Chrysler. It is constructed with a steel frame infilled with masonry, with areas of decorative metal cladding. Approximately 50 metal ornaments protrude at the building's corners on 5 floors, reminiscent of elements on Gothic cathedrals. The 31st floor contains gargoyles as well as replicas of the 1929 Chrysler radiator caps, and the 61st floor is adorned with eagle as a nod to America's national bird. It reaches a height of 319 meters. Last of the 3 buildings to be erected, the Empire State Building set a height record for decades to come. With a height of 381 meters, it surpassed the Chrysler Building with more than 60 meters, and it also became the world's tallest building. The Empire State Building becomes the most iconic skyscrapers of the Art Deco era. The facade is clad in Indiana limestone panels sourced from the Empire Mill in Sanders, Indiana, which give the building its signature blonde color. The decorative features on the facade are largely geometric, in contrast with earlier buildings, whose decoration often were intended to represent a specific narrative. Featured in more than 250 movies and notable with the King Kong movie of 1933, the building became a cultural icon. The Empire State Building held the record for 40 years until the completion of the World Trade Center in 1971. Part of a 7-building complex, the North and the South Towers reach a height of 417 meters. The buildings were designed with narrow office windows, only 46 cm wide, which reflected Yamasaki's fear of height as well as his desire to make the building occupants feel secure. His design included facade clad in aluminum alloy. The World Trade Center was one of the most striking American implementation of the architectural ethic of Le Corbusier, and it was the seminal expression of Yamasaki's Gothic modernist tendencies. It was also inspired by Islamic architecture, elements of which he incorporated in the building's design. Unfortunately, the towers were destroyed during the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. After these terrible attacks, the Empire State Building took the record back and lasted as New York's tallest skyscrapers until the redevelopment of the World Trade Center area. In 2012, the main tower of the World Trade Center redevelopment broke the record with a height of 541 meters. To mark the importance of the events of September 11, 2001, the height was deliberately set to 541 meters, or 1,776 feet, as a reference to the year when the Declaration of Independence of the US was signed. The building occupies a 61 meters square, nearly identical to the footprint of the original Twin Towers. The tower is built upon a 56-meter-tall windowless concrete base, designed to protect it from truck bumps and other ground-level attacks. From the 20th floor upwards, the square edges of the tower's cubic base are chamfered back, shaping the building into 8 tall isosceles triangles. Near its middle, the tower forms a perfect octagon, and then culminates in a glass parapet, whose shape is a square oriented 45 degrees from the base. Thanks for watching the video. Please let me know in the comment the next city you want me to cover, and subscribe to this channel for more content about skyscrapers and cities. If you would like to support my work, you can give me a tip on my TP page. You will find the link in the description. See you around!